Alrighty, so RAWR. RAWR. Today's rant is. My perfume smells good. Sorry. Today's rant is going to be basically about Guild Wars 2. In Guild Wars 2, there is seeming to be a lot of repetitiveness for the zones. The future expansions are, hopefully going to fix this. When I first got to the major cities, I was like, oh my gosh, this is mind blowing awesome. Some of the zones have really awesome points in them. Like, oh my gosh, the first time I went through Timberline Falls and you come up over this crest and you're just trying to avoid the Minotaurs to basically, just run along to the next point of interest and get the little cheat of experience. Oh my gosh, all of a sudden you get over this crest and this huge just expanse in front of you is nothing but um, just rivers and trees and just mountains all over far away, and you realize suddenly, oh my gosh, I get to explore all of that. All of that, you just suddenly feel like you are in the middle of the wilderness and that you feel so isolated from all civilization. It was an awe-inspiring moment. Guild Wars 2, I love the underwater zones and things like that. The cities, like I said, the major cities are amazing. Like Lion's Arch is incredible. I love the buildings out of ships, and even the windmill having the sails of the ships and everything. I mean, it's just ridiculously awesome. Some of the carvings and things are awesome. But for the most part, most of what you run around in is ruins or forest or open plain. Um, it's not it's not something that you wouldn't necessarily see in real life. So I love parts of Guild War 2. I'm very excited about basically seeing something else. I definitely was excited when it first came out and seeing what it was. It has so much potential. I also like that there aren't mounts. I've seen several people complain about the lack of mounts. There's definitely ways to speed yourself up. I mean, good grief, there's a little buff thing that gives you 15% movement increase just automatically for an hour. And then beyond that, you can still buff up your speed even more. I mean, you can just speedy along like Speedy Gonzalez or something. I mean, it's not a big issue to me. And I like that you're on your feet and you feel like you're an actual explorer. I mean, it's nice. Um, I don't have any complaint about that. But the thing that is bothering me a little bit is you go from one char zone to the next char zone to the next char zone. They all look like the previous char zone, except for like the layout's a little bit different, and oh, there's this one special thing that makes it different. Same thing with the Norns, same thing with the humans, same thing with the pirate zones. It's a lot of repetition. I think that's just so that people can level up and everything, and it feels big. It is huge. You look at the world map and it's like, oh, this world map's not that great, but in reality, the zones are so huge that it's definitely good. Um, my big thing with Guild Wars 2 right now is definitely I want to see stuff. And why Guild Wars 2 people? Why? Did you make the keys for the Black Lion boxes account bound? Why did you make all those cool little buff thingies account bound? Why did you make it account bound for me to summon a merchant or go to a bank? Or, I mean, why are so freaking many of the items account bound? I personally could care less about summoning a little banker or a banking golem. To me, it's a waste of bag space. But a lot of people are like totally into that. I have 3 stacks of those potions that turn you into an animal. Like, I don't want to wander around the city just trolling the chat line for forever, for the world map chat. I mean, lots of people are into that. I'm not. It's kind of like, why is this account bound? Why can't I just put it on the trading post and let someone use it instead of just throwing away to make space for my bank? Because I know a lot of people are interested in that. and I'm not. So that's my other rant, I guess. The item shop, love. The exchanging of gold for gems, love. The races and the personal storylines, very fun, except for that stupid quest at level 50 about the Claw Island one. The trebuchet thing, it's so annoying. If you touch the trebuchet, it says you can't shoot in that direction. You literally have to hold the mouse button down for a little while before it'll actually shoot. And you literally have to aim it so completely perfectly until it hits the ship. It takes like 20 minutes just to get the stupid ship. I don't know why they made that so complicated. That's kind of glitchy seeming to me. I mean, it's not an actual glitch. They made that way harder than it should have been. Other than that, I actually like the personal quest so far. I definitely love Ash Lesions. Oh my gosh, all of the spying and the subterfuge and everything. My Asura's one. Oh my gosh, Asura, little deviants. They're little dastardly creatures. My Asura purposefully melded her best friend to a golem just to win an award, and the best friend starts getting taken over by the golem, and her other best friend's in love with her best friend, and you got to decide whether or not you actually care, or whether you're just going to be like, well, if he's so in love with her, meld him to a golem too. What? Asura are evil. The Norn, very spiritual, very, oh, there's a spirit world, and the animals represent, such and such. The human questline so far is kind of boring to me. It's not that it's boring, it's just compared to the other ones, it feels less intense. But humans have always felt that way to me. I mean, I made my human's hair purple just to try to make her less human. I just made her because I wanted, the racials for my guardian. The basically the storyline for the Sylvari is a little more the human side for me. I love Case whole. Well, I don't want to give too many freaking spoilers, but I love Kaith. I wish the storyline revolved around Kaith more. Your storyline kind of the Sylvari. I don't know. It's a little duller. It's not dull, it's just compared to the storyline for the Chars, compared to the storyline for the Asura, which are so entertaining and so embellished, it's a little subtle comparatively. I don't know how better to say that. Anyway, the main thing is Guild Wars 2 overall, I'm genuinely enjoying. I intend to play this one for a while. Like Latro, I played for all of 2 days, and then I realized the auction house, you literally could only buy 5 spots at a time from the item shop, and you didn't start with the ability to use it, and I pretty much uninstalled. I've played, Battle of the Immortals and Fiesta, and I mean, good grief, I played so many MMOs. It's ridiculous. So many free-to-play MMOs. I've watched other people play them, like Aeon. I've never played that myself. Looked dumb to me. Star Wars. I watched my brother play that, and I was like, I have no interest to play in that. And he's like, you can't be serious. And I was like, 2 months later, he quit. And I was like, yeah. And you thought I was the dumb one, who didn't pay all that money. I mean, there's just so many of them are very short-lived as far as keeping my interest. My ADD kicks in, and I'm like, I'm bored. I want to go find a different, better game. Some games I've played for very long periods of time. I played World of Warcraft for 4.5 years. I played a lot so far, almost 3 years. And Guild Wars 2, I think, is going to be one of those ones I played for a long time. Guild Wars 1 was interesting, and yeah, I didn't really play very much of it. But Guild Wars 2, I think I'm going to actually continue to enjoy as long as they give me some zones that I have not seen before. I do love, I gotta say, some people complain about the jumping puzzles, but they're kind of entertaining. They break up the grind of, oh hey, you're doing quests, oh hey, you're getting all the explorations and all that stuff. But I love, love, love the Vistas. They oh my gosh, actually not just once, several times. I pass through something that's really awesome, don't even realize it's there, look at the vista, and suddenly realize I went through doors out of this city that are actually made of giant hawks that are peering down at me, and I walked underneath of them and totally didn't know they were there until I looked at the vista. I mean, things like that have happened a lot. I'm like, whoa, oh, I didn't even notice that. So the vistas are actually really cool. If you've been just skipping them all, watch some of them. Some of them are actually neat. Guild Wars 2, I'm actually pretty entertained with. I don't have a lot to rant about with it yet. I haven't found much to be irritating. The only thing I will say I'm mildly irritated by, besides the things I've already said, that I hate that so many items are account bound, and I despise repetitiveness as far as zones. I don't mind it with monsters as much. It's a little annoying with monsters, but it's so annoying with zones. The only other thing I can think of besides that kind of annoys me is the trading post, how often it's not functioning, but I think that's just the launch. I think it's going to get better. As far as anything else, I can't really think of anything else I personally complain about. I do think the overflow is a good idea. I have seen people complain about the overflow thing and having, basically the overflow servers for people to do stuff in until theirs becomes available. I think this is a great idea because you get to keep all your items, all your quest progress, all your map exploration. The only thing you don't get to do is play with your friend at that particular moment, but you get to keep everything else. And instead of you sitting, staring at a screen, accomplishing nothing, at least you get to gather up some stuff before you go play with your friend. The only other thing is I just thought of this, I keep getting stuck in stuff. I am one of those people who I try to find where the game is broke. Like in World of Warcraft, I found all kinds of paths up through mountains into other zones that weren't actually paths. I just figured out how to jump through the mountains and get to places. I was just that kind of person. I always have figured out, oh, hey, you can get stuck between these two barrels right here. I am finding a lot of things like that in the dungeons in Guild Wars 2. Like, oh my goodness, Ascalon, the final boss. I spent the entire fight one time stuck inside a pillar. Everyone else was just fine. It was just me, but I wasn't even trying to do anything like that at that particular time. I was trying to actually just dodge myself right into a pillar. Spent the entire fight inside the pillar. Couldn't do anything. So I was pretty much, unhelpful for my poor team. I wasn't close enough to actually do anything. All I could do is if they put the boss close enough, my main's a Mesmer. Love Mesmer, by the way. Oh my gosh, whoever designed a Mesmer got inside my head. I love butterflies. I love blue, purple, and rainbows. And all their skills are either purple or bluish or rainbows. And I love the illusions thing because I'm really, really sucky at staying alive unless something else can take hits for me. Yay! So, yay, Mesmers. But anyway, if the boss got close enough, I could make little illusionary warlocks and, things like that to shoot at the boss. But I myself could do nothing. So, that's my only other thing. Other than that, Guild Wars 2 is good. I like it. And it's just one-time purchase and then you're good to go after that. You don't actually have to buy anything from the item shop. And like I said, it's like a LODs Online. You can trade the gold for the out-of-game currency. Yeah. Anyway, RAWR, that's my rant. Have fun.